Okay, so, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Like school, like whether it's our own kids or
Right.
just, our own memories.
Absolutely.
Or even thinking about the future,
It
right?
touches all of us, yeah.
We're always kind of thinking about education. And I'm betting that a lot of us have wondered, like, how special education is funded.
Yeah.
Especially,
Gosh.
yeah,
Right.
it's a big system, right?
Right.
So today we are diving into California's system.
Okay.
California is known for being really progressive
Yeah,
with their policies.
we are, yeah.
But I'm curious to see if it's actually working, when it comes to special ed.
Right. Are they walking the walk?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got some excerpts here that kind of break down, the whole situation.
All right.
And I'm interested to see if California's commitment is actually, what it is on the ground.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
let's start with this.
Okay.
California has actually increased their special education budget
Okay.
in recent years, like significantly.
Okay. So,
Since the 2019-2020 school year,
okay.
their base funding has gone up by almost $1 billion.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
It's a huge jump.
It is a big jump.
But what does that mean?
Well-
How does that translate into, actually supporting the students?
Well, that's what it's intended to do,
Right.
but, it's complicated as always,
That's
right?
right.
So California uses the local control funding formula,
Okay.
or as the cool kids call it,
Uh-huh.
the LCFF.
Okay.
And this aims to kind of distribute funding more equitably.
Okay.
The idea is that schools with higher concentrations of students
Yeah.
facing challenges,
Yeah.
including those with disabilities,
Right.
receive additional resources.
Gotcha. So like it's
Right, so it's supposed to even the playing field a little bit.
right. A system designed to, try to address that inequality.
Exactly.
But I noticed something kind of weird when I was reading the research.
It said that 84% of the special education funding is tied to the overall attendance of the school,
Oh.
not the number of students who are actually receiving the special education service.
I see.
Doesn't that seem kind of weird?
Yeah, it does.
Right.
It's kind of like if you had a food budget
Okay.
that was based on the number of people in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
but not really considering like what each family
Yeah.
actually needed or their dietary needs.
Oh, right.
So this approach really doesn't fully consider
Like,
the specialized services required for
these students.
special education students,
Yeah.
which are often more expensive.
Right. And so, like,
There's a real risk
yeah,
that these programs are being underfunded,
even with the overall increase.
even with that $1 billion increase.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And especially when you think about
Right.
California, like a lot of states, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're facing declining student attendance overall. But the number of students who need special ed is actually rising.
Yeah, it's like a perfect storm.
Okay,
You've got
ready.
this shrinking pool of funding because of lower attendance,
Right.
coupled with the growing demand for special education.
Exactly.
It puts so much pressure
Yeah.
on resources,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, the students end up feeling that impact.
And then there's the teacher shortage.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Oh my gosh.
A nationwide problem.
Nationwide, yes.
But it hits special education
Oof. Especially hard.
really hard.
Yes.
California can't escape that reality.
Nope. They are not immune.
That's what happens.
Well, you see service disruptions,
Okay.
longer wait times for assessment, and students missing out on essential therapies.
It's got to be so hard
It's incredibly difficult.
for the families that are, depending on these services.
Yes, it's heartbreaking.
And it's like a huge sign that something needs to be done.
Something needs to change.
Something needs to change.
Yeah. Now, we can't ignore the elephant in the room,
No.
the pandemic.
The pandemic?
I mean, closing schools and,
Yeah.
going to remote learning was hard on everyone,
For everyone.
but especially,
Oh, yeah.
special ed students
Yeah.
who, they thrive in these structured in-person environments.
Structure is so important. And
Yeah.
we saw a lot of regression,
Oh, really?
both academically and socially.
Wow.
A lot of students lost critical skills or
Wow.
momentum,
And so now they need
even more support.
to catch up.
To catch up, it's
It's like the pandemic's effects
it's going to have a ripple effect for years.
for years to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like California is facing a really complex
That's a web.
web of challenges.
It is.
And it's not like they haven't made any progress, right?
Right. No, they have made some progress with funding.
They've tried.
But the way it's allocated, the staffing crisis,
It's just not.
the pandemic, it creates
why-
roadblocks. Yeah, it's a lot of roadblocks.
So I guess the question is, what can be done?
Well,
Yeah.
throwing money at the problem isn't always the answer.
Right.
We need to rethink how we're attracting
Okay.
and retaining qualified special ed professionals.
Like, how would we do that?
Well, maybe loan forgiveness programs,
That'd be great.
offering competitive salaries,
Okay.
creating more supportive work environments.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know, things like that.
Yeah.
We also need to think about different ways to deliver the services.
Okay.
Some students might benefit from telehealth options.
Yeah.
Or, community-based programs,
Interesting.
more flexible.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we need accountability
Yes.
to make sure that no student,
Right.
no matter their needs, falls through the cracks.
It's a call to action,
It is.
not just for lawmakers,
For everyone.
but for,
Parents,
all of us.
teachers,
Right.
administrators.
So I'm going to leave our listeners with this.
Okay,
What can you do
good question.
in your own community to advocate for better special education?
Yes,
Something to think about.
it is a big one.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Happy to be here.
It's been great.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Bye.